Hello, my name is Jeff Police from Blue Sky Innovation Group, located in Avon, Ohio. We were asked by Cabela's to make some new dehydrators for 2016-2017 season. So I'd like to kind of walk through the features of our dehydrators compared to the units that you're currently selling right now. First of all, the size of the dehydrator compared to the units that you have now are a little bit taller by about 2 inches and just a tad thinner in the back, but sizes are about the same. Some of the new features that we put on the new dehydrator compared to the units that you currently have are the inside of the racks. You'll notice that the trays do not have any holes in them compared to the units that you have now, which it has a hole in the middle. The reason for that is because the airflow in the heater box blows the air from the bottom of the cabinet, where our new units, there are 4 pipes that are in each side of it, and we generate the heat from the bottom of the floor up to the 4 corners. So we have a 360-degree circulation of heat. So we have 24 racks, same as the old one, 24 racks. Some other features I'd like to show you, staying with the inside of the cabinet, is that we noticed that the current unit that you have now, for cleaning purposes, it's difficult to wipe the unit down because the slots for the racks to be held on are non-removable. The side racks lift and can easily be removed for cleaning. So you can wipe the inside of the cabinet off, and basically they go up, push up, and they clip into place. That's both sides. Also too, you notice that the lights in the cabinet, we increased the size of the lights. There's 24 high intensity bulbs in the cabinet. So we'll turn the lights on real quick, and you can see how bright illuminated the cabinet is. The other unit uses 18 lights, and they're not high intensity lights. Turn this on so you kind of see the difference between the lighting of the cabinet. We also added this year a cord wrap, which is also a wall bumper as well, that keeps the unit away from the wall, so you have proper ventilation around the cabinet. That's a new feature. The look of the cabinet is about the same. We did change the control board. We have a one-touch button that will show you how the unit operates just by using a one-touch, where this is multiple buttons that you have to touch to set the unit up. One of the other features too in the outside cabinet, you can see that there isn't any handles on the cabinet. We added embedded in handles, side handles for carrying and moving easily. All the features of this unit that we're speaking of is the same as the 80 liter, which is the unit, the smaller sister of the big one. This is 80 liter, again 160, the same exact features, except for this has stationary feet on the bottom of it, where this one has the casters. But everything, all the features, all the technology is the same on both units. This one will hold about 20 to 25 pounds. The bigger unit would hold between 45 to 50 pounds of meat. Talking about wattage of the units, the big one here is 1600 watts. The smaller unit is 1400 watts. They're commercial grade heaters, and they're ETL rated for home use only. Our 2 innovations that we have is the way that we distribute the heat in the cabinet. We use a plenum that's located underneath the floor of the cabinet, which distribute heat evenly from the 4 posts in the cabinet, which cause a circular motion of air inside the cabinet. In combination with that, we also use what's called smart heat technology, which is our patent pending program. What that does is that monitors the heat inside of the cabinet, keeping the heat in the cabinet longer when needed under those cold climate conditions.
Today I want to talk about the control panel and the smart heat technology functionality of the Cabela's Dehydrator. It's a very simple control panel, very few buttons to push. We have our main power switch that turns the unit on. You can see the LCD screen lights up with all the functions, and then immediately shows the temperature and time settings. The only other toggle switch is the lights that light up the inside of the cabinet so you can see the progress of your dehydrating. To control the unit, it is a simple one push button. You push to activate it and you're in your set temperature function. It is a turn dial. You turn it to set the temperature. It ranges from 80 degrees up to 160 degrees. Once you've selected your temperature, you hit the button again, it goes to the set time function. The first two numbers are your hours, goes 0 hours to 23 hours. Second function is your minutes, and it goes from 0 to 55 minutes. Once you hit, the unit starts and begins heating up. You can see it shows set temperature and then toggles to actual temperature. Goes from set time, toggles to time remaining, so you can see where your progress is from the time you start the process. We also have the ability to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius with simple push of this button. So if you are more familiar with Celsius and metric units, you can easily see that in metric. What happens with the Smart Heat technology is as it heats up, you can see it's in preheat mode. This mode stays on for 20 minutes or until the set temperature is reached. This allows for even heating of the cabinet so that you get consistent product through the process. Once it reaches temperature of 160, it will then maintain that temperature. The heater will go off at 160 degrees and the fan will come on. This starts the dehydrating process because the more air you circulate through there, the more moisture you are removing from your meat. As the temperature fluctuates, once the heater is off, it will drop 10 degrees and then the heater will kick back on and the high-speed fan stays on. If it does not get back up to temperature within 5 minutes, the fan will drop to a low speed to allow the heat to accumulate in the cabinet and get back up to its operating temperature, its set temperature. If you are in a colder environment in a garage in the winter where you're not in an optimal condition where it's 70 degrees, what happens is if it should drop more than 10 degrees, it will immediately turn the heat back on, drop the fan speed down to low. This again allows the heat to accumulate in the cabinet, getting it back up to temperature so the high-speed fan can turn on and begin dehydrating. What you will notice is as the dehydration process continues on, you will notice that it cycles faster and faster. This is because the heat is accumulating in the cabinet and the moisture is being removed from the cabinet. Once you have a dry, consistent temperature in your cabinet, you'll see that you're almost done dehydrating. As you can see, when it's in the preheat mode, the fan icon is at its slow moving speed. This indicates that the fan is at low speed and heat is building within the cabinet. The lights will stay on or off depending on how you choose to set the switch during the entire process. Here you can see we've reached our temperature. You can see the two-stage heat light comes on and the fan icon starts spinning at a faster rotation. This means the cabinet is up to temperature, the high-speed fan is on, getting that moist, wet air out of the cabinet and starting to dehydrate the meat. You can also see the preheat icon is now off. We are now in the cycle of dehydration where it will maintain high-speed fan as often as possible. It does this with the Smart Heat technology, always keeping it at the optimum temperature and the high-speed fan on as frequently as at the maximum level. So what happens is you get to your set temperature. If it drops 10 degrees below set temperature, the heater comes back on with the high-speed fan still going. If it does not get back to your set temperature within 5 minutes, the fan speed then drops to low to allow the heat to build back up. If it's in a cold environment and it drops 15 degrees below your set temperature, it immediately drops to low speed fan and gets that temperature back up to your set temperature and then begins cycling at the high speed fan at the set temperature to dehydrate the meat.